I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it, man. You know what I mean? You understand? I don't have people, buy me Timberlands every day. So when I got mine, it was like special. I was talking about them, but I don't find them that it's just like I walk up and down the stairs and stuff like that at my house, at my mom's house, and she probably called the police on me. They really bother her when I walk up and down the stairs. So it's like she gets me some, and it's like they bother her. But they're the first. Sometimes, what I mean, the memorial is coming up in March. I always thought it was in April, but so I'm gonna have to buy some clothes for the memorial. Also, I mean, it's like a sign and things. You really can't know what it is that happens with regards to people. And I recovered. I had to rethink my whole life. When I received these these Timberlands from my mom. It's just, you don't really understand. You can't. I do. I need to wear something other than jeans. I need to wear something other than jeans. So so let me go ahead and get in here. You ever hear somebody called Tove Lo? Let's get on Tove Lo. It's this thing I was into years ago. I would find, artists, and they would sample their music. Tove Lo sampled it. So let's look at Tove Lo. Space, clear it off. Tove Lo. She got 10-hour habits. Tove Lo. Lo. 10-hour habits. And I'm saying, when you listen to music, YouTube is good too. Listen to music at night, but people prepare things like music that you can have supervise your house all night. You know. There we go. We up here 10 hours. Let me see this. There we go. Just like I like it. So you get, I've been spoiled in this day and age because I've been having music that accompanies me subconsciously. So like I don't live with anybody. So what I do, I get, if I don't turn my speakers on or something like that, my TV, it turns into my bedtime friend, and it sings me songs all night long. And I know some people started doing that. When I was a very young child, I used to listen to tapes from the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, which means I go to sleep and listen to the Great Teacher book, different types of books. I go to sleep, and the Bible would be read to me. Get tapes. As I grew older, after well into 2014, 15, 16, I don't sleep without, having 10 hours of something moving consistently. It's not the radio. It's special. I want to say Snapple Apple is not iced tea. I hope it's not iced tea. I hope it's not iced tea. I'm gonna look and see what color it is. It's red. It smells a little bit like cherry. My mom's daughter, she drinks it. It's special. It got that appeal I like, man. I can't do nothing without it. And it's good for my health. Yeah, my hair, it still got it, man. I'm gonna have to touch it up a little bit. So I'm thinking about life after life after life after life after Valentine's Day, life after Black History Month. That's what I'm thinking about. Life after Black History Month. Which means I think about it, everybody thinks about it. They don't let me live it out. You know what I mean? We think about Black History Month. You was talking about it. How you going to be alive in March? Yeah. So anyway, I got this friend, old friend, that's like a Mercer County legend and shit. Oh, man. Omarr Omarr ORTIZ. Omarr Karlen ORTIZ. Me and Omarr kind of parted ways in 2013 at my first apartment. He was there. He was Omarr. He stayed there a couple nights. I always welcome Omarr staying and shit. Sometimes I get home, Omarr, I be in there. That's before Omarr got married. You know, me and Omarr, man. You talk to a guy on the phone so much, and you forget how kids do and people do in the world. Me and Omarr be on the phone talking. I had girls on the phone. I'd be on the phone with a girl. Omarr find out. He'll call my girlfriend, tell him I'm on the phone with a girl. That type of thing. Omarr knew these 800 numbers that he could call, and you'll be able to talk to like people who are on the phone. It was almost like Facebook, like in 1980, and like in 1994. It's like you just get on the phone. He knew stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where you talk to people, but you don't know where they live. You don't know their phone number. But if you talk to them and you speak to them long enough, they can tell you their address. And what you got to do, you got to go there. So Omarr is the type of person who remember what your credit card looked like, or he write it down. And then what he do is he use that credit card number to make phone calls on on a rotary phone, 1-800. And then after that you get the bill, and it's like, Omarr got a hold of our credit card, and Michael doesn't use sex lines and shit. Omarr used sex lines. Omarr had a kid, he had a son. After me and Omarr, we see each other. I see him. I called Omarr, I called him 2016, 2015. I'm on Omarr. You know, I think I gotta kill somebody. I was saying something. I was saying Omarr. I was like, what? It's like, you on some real shit. I said, I need you to come home so you could hold my phone while I do something to somebody. I was like, you gotta hold my phone. He's like, what? I was like, I need you to hold my phone because if you don't got my phone, I can't do it and shit. So at that time, he was living in Delaware. I was just talking about Omarr. He got a cousin named Oliver, real bad type kid. He got a cousin named Lorenzo. Lorenzo lived up on West State Street. I mean, past Hermitage. You go past Hermitage, you go up West State Street. It's really bad news. It's like you get into um like a square mile, like a square mile. You get like a square mile, 2 miles. Uh, 3/4 of a mile. It's real bad news, meaning that it's real bad news, meaning that it's boring to a fault, and the only thing that can get you by it is using drugs and shit like that. So it's not boring no more, but it was. But Lorenzo used to live there, you know, and around there on the years. I mean, Omar, a married man. I don't know if he had any more kids. I mean, since it is our last song, maybe about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But it's like, it's like, what I mean, it's just like I remember since I'm bigger than Omar, I grew taller than Omar. You know, I grew taller than Omar. Like I said, I grew taller than Omar. So what it means is like, ultimately I grew up Omar a little smaller and shit. I didn't really get around Omar. Omar's still fast with his hands and shit like that. I was saying on some shit. I mean, nobody ain't gonna fight Omar. Motherfuckers be like, Mike, you could beat Omar. Maybe it's something Joe be like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Omar? If you motherfuckers start running his mouth. I mean, at this point in time, I mean, I fight for Omar. Of course I fight for him. Omar need me to fight. I show up. As long as he fight too. I got in fights in front of Omar. Omar ain't never getting a fight with me. Me and Omar got in fights. And what I found out happened with Omar and me was that, me and Omar, we kind of, we kind of, our families were best friends. Our mom was best friends. His dad was best friends with my dad growing up. So we was best friends. And, Omar watched the sports. He always play, video games. I used to play like NBA Jams. NBA Jams, I think that was on Super Nintendo. And we played that. But the sunlight making me look real nice. I do. It's a real nice light. A real intimidating light. A real intimidating light. Intimidating. It's just, as I look and I see myself, looking so beautiful in the light. It's just, it's nothing you could duplicate. You can't really duplicate yourself. So why would you when you looking at, something so imposing like the sun reflecting off of your face like you a mirror? So I'm up this door, you know. But Omar, man, I was thinking about some of the same thing. Omar, me and Omar throughout school and high school were his best friends. It was that sort of thing. We talk, we do this. Omar was the first one to get his driver's license. So what you think? He picked his best friend up. He picked Michael up. Yeah, man, Omarr, we riding. I'm riding, motherfucker. He got the wheel. I'm having fun like I'm driving. So we proceed, to go. That's how it is. That's how it was. Even until I had my cars, I get my cars, and then Omarr started going his own way. I remember because Omarr family, his family, like his legacy is he a Hopkins. You know Hopkins. He probably related to Bernard Hopkins. They real aggressive type mob type black people. Real like mob type black people, like the mob, like black like the mob. He got an uncle named Uncle Tuna and shit. You know what I mean? His grandpa, he looked like some type of boxer type nigga, man. You don't really want to mess with them and shit. So Omarr type, he a fighting nigga too. Omarr played basketball. He ain't never played high school basketball. Um, he would get good grades. I don't know how he do that. But that's what he did. That's what I always say. Like I wasn't smart in high school. Nobody ever told me I was smart. That's how I became so intelligent and wise when as I graduated, and studied after that. Omarr was the only child. You know what I mean? Omarr had his Jordans. You know what I mean? His room probably still his room. It probably looked the same as it looked when I was fucking 12 years old. You go in there. He got a he got a Steiner. He got a Steiner High School football helmet that that Eric Ellis gave to him. Eric Ellis. He he good friends with many people. It turns out that him and Troy Vincent became best friends. Some real shit. Troy Vincent, motherfucking, what I mean? He gonna reach out to me on fucking Instagram. On some funny shit. And I could have talked to him for days and shit. He married Eric first wife, Lisa Ellis. He married Lisa sister. She not really Puerto Rican. She might speak Spanish. She looked very, very African American, very black. We all thought it was beautiful, it was very pretty. I used to hang around Eric. Um Eric and his sister used to babysit me when I was growing up. And what happened was Eric was, what I mean, he was showing me porn. Like he was showing me pornographic magazines and stuff like that. Like the porn that Eric would show me, the pornographic magazines that Eric would show me, they'd be like, they wasn't Playboy. All it would show was like a woman vagina, but the inside of it. So when you look at the porn, it looked like somebody got their mouth open with their tonsils out. That's all Eric showed me. He showing me this. Like, Mike. So I told I told I told my mom, and then Eric, what I mean, he called me at the Kingdom Hall. He called me a snitch. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Eric, what I mean? He didn't like that I did that, but Keisha, I mean, she was the one getting the money for babysitting me. Keisha, Keisha, I was just talking to my mom about it. I was at the corner store on South Cook, and I was in front of the store, and I found $1 in my pocket. Right, I was like, shit, I got $1, and then Keisha took the $1 and said, I got $1, some shit. So Keisha went in the corner store in South Cook, got her something. So at that time, Keisha lived on Tioga. I mean, 5, 6 years old, 5 years old. So we in Keisha house. When my mom come to pick me up, I was like, Mom, Keisha took $1 from me. And then And then Keisha started to stop liking me and shit. I couldn't get babysitted there no more. But Eric and the congregation in the Kingdom Hall, he was everybody, fuck everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody loved Eric, you know. My dad, Craig McClendon, he used to buy Eric ties and dress him up for the assembly, do stuff like that. Nobody really knew Eric dad. Nobody knew Keisha dad. But we knew Eric and we knew Keisha. So Omarr wanted to be like Eric. Eric, you know what I mean? Eric, you know what I mean? Probably knew Omarr first. Eric, he's short and shit. I really didn't notice that because I was young, but Omarr was short too. So Omarr probably looked like that. So they probably got cool. Eric was giving him all that stuff. You know what I mean? I saw Eric at his sister's funeral. I always wanted to see Eric, you know. Eric was a star. He like a star. Eric had gotten this work-related injury, you know, working on the railroad. Um, on the railroad, he got a job. It wasn't a hookup, but he got a good job. Well, it might not have been a good job. He got a job. Brother Man, Thomas Man. He worked in the railroad since it is that my great grandfather worked in the railroad. They knew each other from working on the railroad in like 1950, 1940 something, 1960, 19. They knew each other like my great grandpa, brother Man, probably was like that pussy young man. He crazy. I don't fuck with nobody like him. But they knew each other, so he got Eric a job. Eric got hit on the job, which meant that Eric got hit in the head. Eric got hit in the head and he had like a concussion. No matter what, after that, he got $300,000. So that's what gave Eric the volition to motivate. They got out of town, you know what I mean? And he started living the life. Now you hear Omarr tell it. Omarr tell you like 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 he made Omarr. You know, I tell stories and I can make a person look a certain way. But when Omarr tells stories, Omarr ORTIZ, he a storyteller. He a storyteller. I mean, he got to be alive. You know, Jehovah got to be God, and you got to be somebody he know. He'll tell you everything. But yeah, man, yeah. So everybody, man, thought, man. I don't know what I'd do if Eric was my big brother, man. A lot of us ain't had big brothers. You know, my big brother, man. At 5 years old, I ain't even really know him yet. So I would have wanted to have a big brother. And the big brother I want to have, I wanted Eric to be my big brother the most. Eric Ellis. So, and other things that happened, the Super Bowl happened. I was saying something about the Eagles, this, that, the other. So Troy Vincent going to locate me without being properly introduced by Eric Ellis. Now I remember Troy Vincent was doing some stuff over at UNH High. You know what I mean? Troy Vincent, he a professional football player. He a professional football player who came from Mercer County. He came from Mercer County, so. And also, they got this sister. Her name was Sister Jones. She used to do hair. She was one of my mom's best friends. She was my best friend too. Pretty granddaughters. She has some granddaughters. They so pretty. They from I think they're from Baltimore. I mean, you only see them once in your life. Um, this one dude that used to hang with me and Omar, we don't really deal with him no more. His name Dustin Overton. Dustin was in love with her granddaughters and stuff. Granddaughters was pretty girls, man. But they was gonna leave. I knew not to like them. Pretty little pretties. Hear it from Dustin. Dustin wanted to marry her. Anyway, we go to my mom go get her hair done. Sister Jones doing hair. And with Sister Jones, she had her hair shop. It was on Brunswick Avenue, right by the hospital. And what happened is you hear Sister Clark, Eric mom, Eric. My son do this, my son do that. Talking about her son, talking about Eric, and I was like, man, I wish that my mom could talk about her son and Sister Jones hair salon. You know, so that's the thing. That's how it was, man. Eric was a little older. Eric about 9 years older than me. I'm over Eric's house. You know, at the point when I'm over Eric's house, Eric still understand that my mom and my dad newlyweds. So Eric be like, "What's your mom and your dad doing this stuff?" Him and Keisha, like, "They over there doing it, ain't they?" That's how Eric was like, "They doing it, ain't they doing it?" Like stuff like this, bro. Eric and Keisha, they getting the worst. They getting the worst arguments. The worst, the worst arguments. They get in bad arguments. I really don't understand. They don't be arguments. They be alone. Keisha was in the 10th grade. Eric might have been in the ninth. I really don't know, at 11. But she talking about tearing people clothes up. Sometimes Keisha lock herself in his room with me, and then start ripping his jeans up. Eric like, Michael, what's she doing? Cutting his jeans up. Took the knife in there, doing it in front of me. This is one time I was out there. Eric was there, and then Keisha had she was throwing knives at him and shit. She threw a knife. It got this close to his head and hit the wall and shit. Eric looked at me like, stepped off. It's crazy, man. Crazy. All right, they had these two cousins called Nicholas and Kiva. I never saw Nicholas. I never saw Kiva again. Kiva looked like my great grandma, and Nicholas looked like Nicholas. I was talking about Keon Wade. I wanted to talk about his mom. His mom named Hattie, and his sister. I remember her from Greenwood Congregation, but you know, years after Keon Wade had gotten killed, you know, had lost his life. Jehovah saw it all, so you know, he got him in his files. I know that for a fact. I saw I saw Keon's mom and his sister at Keisha's funeral, and they treated me so kind. They were so special. So, you know what I mean? You ain't see no death, and they ain't even talk about Keon. They was talking about me. You know? And Hattie was one of my mom's best friends. So I wanted to mention that. When I would be babysitted over Eric and Keisha's house, Keon was younger than Eric and Keisha. So he would be over there too from school. I remember this one time, I think it was this girl named Felicia, my friend JD mom. And this is something that I don't know if it's Keisha said this. Felicia was there. Somebody said they was talking to Keon. They said, "Which way do a pussy go, up or sideways?" They said that to him. I was right there. I heard everything. When I used to go downstairs, you know what I mean, at nighttime when there's babysitting me, I would be over there because Sister Clark, their mom and my mom was best friends. My dad, so we was over there for anything anyway. So there's this one time Keisha, she was trying to leave. You know what I mean? She got in an argument. She was fighting her mom. It was one of them things where it's crazy, right? So my dad, Craig McClendon, he picked up a shovel and shit. A snow shovel. He was about to hit her and shit. Keisha's mom was like, "No, you don't gotta do that, Craig. He's about to get her and shit." Those was the 80s, man. Them girls was crazy, man. She wanted to go to her boyfriend's house. Some shit's going on. A day had to show he was about to get her. They had a golden retriever in the backyard. Nah, they had like a. You ever see Lady in the Tramp? They had a dog like Lady in the backyard. enough about them. Let me talk about Omarr. You know what I mean? I mean, I mean, do what I could do. Talk about Omarr. So yeah, Omarr. I mean, I had a friend. His name was Eugene. Eugene was cool, man. They got they got this person who was in my book study. Her name was Sister Scott. She got a she had a son. His name was Earl Scott. I always think about Sister Scott and Earl Scott. Her son used to be up in there, man. A lot of these young men, they you know what I mean? They alive. They somewhere they could be alive, but they was living in my alumni. So they was close to Jehovah and Jesus Christ's heart. You know, of course of course they have that with regards to their absence. You know, their innocence is imminent. It's indefinite. Their innocence. So of course it is. I feel so. I'm gonna definitely be able to see those guys. You know, it'd be a resurrection to see them again today. You know. But back to Omarr, man. Omarr came from that. Where there where you get that's where you got the Ultimate Warrior, you got Ric Flair, yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Ultimate Warrior. I like saying Super Jimmy Fly Snooker. You know, the Ultimate Warrior. Who you got who it was a Sting, you got Sting, you know, different guys like the Iron Sheik, of course the Iron Sheik. And you know what I mean? Here go Omarr and shit. You know what I mean, Mike? You know what I mean? He want to put you on a wrestling move. You know what I mean? He try to do some shit. You know what I mean? You already doing that. You know what I mean? On some real shit. I don't think that's real cool and shit. I don't like that. Nah, look at it. You know what I mean? He try to put you on a wrestling move. We be playing wrestling. Like, hold up, Mike. You know what I mean? Some shit. You know what I mean? Next, you know what I mean? Sometimes me and Omarr, we got in fights and shit. Like we'll be going, you know what I mean, fighting and stuff like that. So his mom come in the room, I'm biting him, he's trying to bite me or something like that. We'll be going at it. That's just how it was, man. I remember his mom. It was one time that she did something right. It's funny though. I feel as though even today, me and his mom could laugh about this. She gave me a beating one time. This meant that she disciplined me one time. So she was getting on one. And then she got mad. And then she beat me and shit. She had put her hands on me trying to discipline me and shit. I don't know. I think she laughing anyway. She probably was laughing when she did it. You know what I mean? But now Omarr, it's like Omarr got like a gift and a curse in some ways, but it's just crazy. Like everything Omarr do ain't really evil or wicked and shit. You know? But some things are. But what Omarr do, man, sometimes Omarr, man, he got a girlfriend in the projects around the corner from here. I used to live down the street from the projects when I went to UNI. So this is, you know what I mean, I get on Oakland, I go straight. So I go down there, you know what I mean, Omarr out there, ton of projects, like one of them. Omarr got away. He one of them Mercer County motherfuckers, man. But anyway, Omarr, man, he out there, man, doing what he doing, man. You don't even know what happened. I get a girl in my car, man. She doing, and she keep doing it, man. On some real shit. Omarr do that shit like that. Give me something nice you don't even know about. A lot of friends, you know what I mean, that I met that was Omarr friends. I don't know, they know me by way of Omarr, but they understand me as a different individual. So when they get around me, you know what I mean, they become my friends. And I feel as though Omarr may not have liked that all the time. You know what I mean? This is motherfucker named Chris, man. Chris. Motherfucker Chris. I spoke Russell. Chris ran a tight crew. He ran an outfit here. An institution in Trenton, New Jersey. Man. Chris, one of them individuals that motherfucker, he got off on being an amateur stripper and shit. I don't think he did it professionally. He might have been trying and shit. Dancer and stuff like that. That was their MO and shit. That was their MO. So man, me and Omarr started running with them. Omarr moved out of his house and shit. He moved in with Chris and they whole crew. Like 2 or 3 years, they lived in Lawrenceville in these apartments. I think they call Avalon Run. There's American as apple pie to people in Trent. They got an indoor basketball court. Nah, man, everybody used to go there. So that's where Omarr lived. Omarr moved out. He moved out. He moved out. Omarr bad. They moved out. He moved out. Shit. So it's me. I get up with Chris and shit. Me, Omarr, we all chilling with Chris, and then I'm chilling with Chris. I'm in high school, and I hear about this kid from London, England. It's like he's from London, England. He goes to Lawrence High School. They all talking about. It's this kid, this black kid from London, England. He goes to Lawrence High School. After I graduated from high school, before I went, did my time, studying in college, I met this kid. His name Wandy. He got a brother named Tunji and shit. Wandy, he moved back to London, but he be coming back. He come back, check me out. He came back, checked me out, spoke to my mom. Chris gone, but I was just saying, it was this one time, right? I was thinking about it. I used to work at like hotels and stuff like that, like managing them, nighttime manager, just really, doing my thing at the hotels I worked at. One time, me and Chris, we was in the room, right? And we ain't get no girls or nothing. So what we did, we stayed the night in the hotel room, right? So when we get out, I get in my car, I'm down there, I wait for Chris. Chris came out, he looked at me like, Chris looked at me like that girl in Coming to America looked at Eddie Murphy as she put his hand on hers. It was only because Chris know that I know that people be saying, since he be doing that shit, Chris is a little flamboyant in a way, but he had a way with girls. And if you ain't know, it's just that he had a way with all girls, all types of girls, anywhere you go. He had a way with girls. The most that I did when I chilled with Chris, Wandy, and Russell is get girls that they dated that, wanted to fuck with normal people like me. Chris, I'm around the corner at my mom's house, at my dad's house. This is in 1998, 1999, before my daughter was born. So I get one of Chris' girlfriends from Sicklerville. He couldn't never hit that and shit. I get up there, man. She let me hit that. It was one of the rawest experiences I ever had in my life. And then I did some shit when I had my Motorola. I had my Motorola flip phone. My Sprint flip phone. Somehow I'm on the phone with her while I'm having sex with another girl, and she heard me the whole time. And then while I was done having sex with the girl and shit, I got on the phone. She was like, "What?" Went off on me. I couldn't fuck with her no more. Pretty girl. And when I was driving around here, I drove down Berwyn Avenue. Chris saw me with his girlfriend in the car. And Chris saw his girlfriend in the car. I pulled up his girlfriend and shit. Chris did this and shit. Chris, he did like that. And then he jumped on the hood of my car, on the window, and then he slid down this shit. That's how Chris is, man. That's how he was, man. But Chris out of town, apparently. You hear from me, you hear from this one, you hear that one. I feel as though Chris went out to chase his career being a stripper. Went to be famous. What the dude is doing out there. He got out there and got successful and got some girls. But I feel as though leaving your town, and becoming some type of a person in another city, in another state, it's like an organ transplant. It's like being in another sun or something like that, That's what I feel. So yeah, Omarr, And the thing about Omarr, he stick around and shit, like he don't really leave. But like I said, after getting around like 2013, something like that, Omarr started doing this shit, like he was like he'd talk to me, he was like, "Nah, man, I'm just talking to my bro." That's when that shit it came out, bros. He said, I'm just talking to my bro. I tell you what happened is that the gang culture had got to such a pinnacle, and around 2011, 2013, it was settled and subsided since the height in 2001, 2003, 2005. But people have had things that they do, and as black men, if they talking to somebody, you know what I mean, people got so many gang references, they say my bro, my bro. You know, it's like R. Kelly said, bro, my bro, my bro, because there's things going on that occur, but everybody not in the gang. So we not in the gang. It's just my bro and shit like that. So it's like saying brother, but that's a term that was coined by African American urban individuals that gain repertory and in position and it after 2010. I know that. Because when Omarr started doing that bro shit, you know, I was like, the fuck is your bro and shit? Well, I mean, so that was a point in time I really didn't meet many Omarr friends that Omarr got into his ways. Omarr got away getting girls too. But after he got married, that was some type of weird shit. You know what I mean? He might have got girls because he was my friend and shit. I went in and out of Trenton Psychiatric Hospital, you know, for housing circumstances. And what happened is that like I was in there, they had some pretty psychiatrists and stuff like that. I get out. Nah, man, I'm in my first apartment. Omarr got the psychiatrist that worked in there. Motherfucking dropping him off. Matter of fact, he moved in with her and shit. I mean, if he could have married her, he could have married shit. Pretty African American looking girl, had little dreads, not a nice car, nice house, and shit like that. He's gonna have to fuck that up. So he ultimately fucked that shit up, if you want to say it. But he had like young girls. On one side, motherfucker, he get with a pretty young girl because he's short as shit. At the time in 2013, he was short. I mean, he had his Timbs, he wore his shit. I mean, he had his muscular build and whatnot like that. So he would be able to be in the avenue to be able to, you know what I mean, speak specifically. I don't really want to get into his professional life, you know, when it comes to his music career, you know what I mean, that he does and did have. But I just say, you know what I mean, to end this talk, this lecture, that Omarr got married. He did it. He'd been better off if he let me marry him to his wife or something like that. He ain't want to do it publicly. It's something about these marriage ceremonies that's just, you know, like it is. I say I'm married. I'm very married. I mean, you could tell. I mean, I gotta face my wife's wrath, you know, at every dawn and beckoning of any momentum. You know, I mean, I love her, but it's more than love and shit. I mean, but even better if I married him. He did get married, and I saw some type of pictures. I saw pictures from the wedding, had tuxedos and stuff. Somebody on man. I don't even want to say it because he probably knows shit. I mean, he showed me pictures. He told me he got married, and Eric Ellis wasn't there. Eric wasn't. I said Eric wasn't there. Eric wasn't there. I was a little because Omarr keep in contact with Eric Ellis and shit. Like Omarr go back and forth with him. Like they bros. I don't really use the term bro or brother. It's just it really don't make me feel comfortable. How does these things happen? Of course, you know, Jesus is my brother. That's my man. But in different things, he may be the only brother that, you know, I'll forfeit to let you know, explain our relationship as brothers. This was Jesus Christ. But other than that, nah, man. So man, I'm not comfortable with that. You know, a lot of Caucasian people, they do it on Thanksgiving. Somebody said this. Somebody said, "Happy Thanksgiving, brother." I knew it was a white dude, man. So I was like, definitely he crazy. He said, he crazy, man. Cool, motherfucker. All right, man. So a white man talking to me saying something. He said, "Happy Thanksgiving, brother." He said it to me on my chat. He just came up and said it. He's eating the turkey. That man said that, man. You know what I mean? You wishing me, happy tidings and stuff. I don't mind that. But now Omarr got married, and what Omarr did, he started getting out of. Started getting out of order. He stopped like doing push-ups and sit-ups. You know what I mean? I never saw Omarr with a belly. He had a belly and shit. Normally Omarr, you know what I mean? It's probably because his blood pressure and shit like that, where his body stay kind of tight and aerobic. Omarr started getting, you know what I mean, a little heavy. I said, damn, Omarr. Fucking around that woman, around that house, you motherfucker, you sitting around eating. You know, I could tell by the way that I live that, you know, it is that I'm married too. I mean, I could sit around and eat also. There's times that I think to a time when I was in my early 20s and I was with my girlfriend. I was with her at that point in time and we were so comfortable together. It wasn't going to continue to last. You know, we couldn't live, you know, on dates, and we couldn't live, you know, in between our house and or each another's house, and that was the type of relationship we had physically, and we were living like that, you know. And I wasn't focused on, you know, my girlfriend for any reason other than the love that we shared. And the love we shared, I mean, was my love and her love. And I couldn't share my love anymore. So I had to motivate in a different direction and let her, you know, pursue her career spiritually, you know, as a baptized Jehovah's Witness, you know. And here I am. But there it is, I weighed about 220 pounds for a short amount of time. Here it is, I am. I'm around 235. So, like I said, you know what I mean? I hold Omarr in the highest esteem. He not folklore. He just somebody I don't mind talking about.